Sakari stood at the edge of the Blackfoot lands, gazing out over the rolling hills that had been her home for as long as she could remember. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting an amber glow across the landscape, and for a moment, the world felt still and sacred. She was a historian entrusted with preserving the knowledge of her people, the Blackfoot Nation, through oral tradition and the stories passed down by her elders. But today, everything felt different. The air had grown tense, charged with a strange energy that she couldn't explain. The sky darkened unnaturally as massive, sleek ships descended slowly from the heavens, their metallic surfaces reflecting the fading light. The craft hovered silently, casting shadows across the land. Sakari's heart raced. This was no ordinary event. The elders had spoken of sky beings, but they had always been stories, legends. The stories of the star beings who had once walked the earth with their ancestors had always seemed distant, mystical, but now it was real. The ships hovered above her sacred lands, and there was no denying the truth. Sakari's breath caught in her chest as she heard the sound of the wind stirring the grasses beneath her feet. She knew instinctively that these invaders were not here for peaceful purposes. They had come for something, a relic hidden by her ancestors, a celestial artifact passed down through generations. It was said to possess the power to alter reality, to bend the very fabric of existence. It had been kept safe for centuries, hidden away in a place only the most trusted knew about. The ships above her were no ordinary invaders. They had been searching for something. Sakari's heart sank as she realized what it must be. Her ancestors had kept the relic hidden, knowing the dangers it posed. It had been their gift from the star beings, but the same power that had been a blessing could easily become a curse in the wrong hands. She needed to act quickly. Her people had long lived in harmony with the land, honoring the sacredness of their connection to the earth. The relic could change all of that. Sakari closed her eyes, drawing on the wisdom of her ancestors, and prepared herself for the journey ahead. She had to find the relic before the invaders did and protect her people's way of life. Sakari moved quickly through the land, her footsteps sure and deliberate. She knew the sacred places of her ancestors like the back of her hand. Every tree, every rock, every river held meaning. The relic, a celestial artifact that had been hidden for centuries, was buried in the heart of the land. But where? The ancient text told of a place deep in the mountains, a site where the stars had once touched the earth, but the texts were vague, wrapped in allegory and symbolism. Sakari had grown up listening to her elders' stories of the relic, told in hushed tones about the fire. They spoke of a time long ago when the star beings had descended upon the earth, gifting her people with knowledge and protection. The artifact was said to contain the power to alter reality, to shift the course of time, and to bring balance to the universe. But it was also a tool of immense danger. If it fell into the wrong hands, it could bring about untold destruction. As she journeyed deeper into the wilderness, Sakari's thoughts were consumed with the relic's power. The invaders would stop at nothing to find it. She had to find it first, but she couldn't do it alone. She had learned of the ancient map that had been passed down through generations, hidden within her family's heirlooms. The map, however, was lost, and the clues to its location had been scattered. The elders had warned that only someone with the purest of heart and the clearest of mind could decipher its secrets. Sakari knew that she was that person. She had always felt connected to the stars, as if they had been calling to her, but she also knew that the journey would not be easy. The invaders were not the only threat she faced. The mountains were treacherous, the path unclear, and the power of the relic was far beyond her understanding. As she ventured deep into the dense forest, Sakari caught sight of the shadow moving among the trees. It was not human, and it wasn't like anything she had ever seen before. Her heart raced, and she instinctively reached for the dagger at her side. The shadow was closing in, and she knew that whatever it was after the same thing she was, her people's most sacred treasure. The shadow moved quickly, and Sakari found herself back into a clearing, her body tense as she prepared to defend herself. The air around her crackled with energy, the presence of something ancient and powerful filling the space. Suddenly, the shadow revealed itself, but it was not a creature of flesh and blood. It was a being of light, shimmering and ethereal, its form shifting with every movement. Sakari stood frozen, unsure of what to do. The being spoke, its voice resonating in her mind rather than through sound. "You are the guardian, Sakari, the one chosen to protect the relic." Sakari's breath caught in her throat. She had always known there was something special about her connection to the stars, but this was beyond anything she could have ever imagined. "I don't understand," she whispered. "What is this relic? Why are they after it?" "The relic is a gift from the stars. It was given to your people to protect the balance of the earth. It has the power to alter reality itself, to reshape the future. to heal or to destroy. The being's form flickered like a flame in the wind, its presence calming. The invaders seek it because they wish to wield its power for themselves. They do not understand the cost. Sakari's mind raced, her thoughts spinning with the implications of what the being was saying. What do I do? How can I stop him? The being's glow grew brighter, and for a moment it seemed to merge with the stars themselves. We must seek the relic before they do, but the path will not be easy. The relic's location is hidden, its power sealed away. You must unravel its secrets of the land, of the stars, and of your people's past. With that, the being's form began to dissipate, leaving Sakari with the map to the hidden artifact, as she was the chosen guardian, and it was up to her to protect her people's future. Sakari's heart pounded as she navigated the treacherous mountain pass, the weight of her ancestors' legacy heavy on her shoulders. She had only a vague sense of where the relic might be hidden, but she was determined to find it before the invaders did. Every step she took was a step closer to uncovering the truth, but the shadow beings were closing in on her. They were relentless, drawing to the relic's power like moss to a flame. The night was quiet, save for the rustling of leaves in the wind. Sakari paused for a moment, her senses alert, feeling the air shift around her. She could feel the presence of the invaders drawing closer. The ships above her land had become a constant threat, their lights cutting through the sky like searchlights. But it wasn't just the invaders she had to worry about. The shadow beings, entities born from darkness and silence, were hunting her. They would stop at nothing to find the relic and claim its power. Suddenly, the ground beneath her feet trembled, and she stumbled forward, catching herself on a rock. Her pulse quickened as she looked around, trying to identify the source of the disturbance. Then a voice, cold and alien, echoed through the night. "Give us the relic, Sakari. You cannot protect it forever." Sakari gritted her teeth. She was no longer afraid. The voice belonged to one of the invaders, and they had found her. But she wasn't alone. The star beings had come to protect her and give her just enough time to fend off the dark beings so that she may find the artifact before it's too late. The final confrontation came quickly as Sakari found herself standing at the entrance to a hidden cave, the relic's location finally within her grasp. The ships above rumbled their engines, preparing for another assault. The shadow beings emerged from the darkness, their eyes glowing with hunger. "You cannot stop us," one of them said, its voice a hiss in the wind. "The relic will be ours." Sakari's breath was steady as she faced them. "The relic does not belong to you. It was never meant for destruction." She stepped forward, her hands shaking but resolute. With a final burst of energy, she reached into the earth and uncovered the celestial artifact. It glowed with an otherworldly light, and for a moment, the world seemed to shift around her. She held it high, its power resonating through her entire being. The invaders hesitated. They had underestimated her strength, and it was too late to turn back now. Sakari had unlocked the relic's true potential. With the power of her ancestors, she directed the artifact's energy outward, protecting her people's land and banishing the invaders from the sky. As the ships disappeared into the distance, Sakari stood tall, knowing that the relic was safe and that her people's legacy was secure. The land, the stars, and the future would remain in harmony.